welcome Mr. John Forfor to share his expertise and insights. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
Hi guys, my name is John Forfor. As you can tell, I'm from Australia, but I'm also, okay, yeah, Australia. I'm also half Filipino, so I live in Davao now. So today I just wanted to talk about decentralized AI. So just a quick question for the audience: who is interested in AI? Okay, 4 people. We've got 4 people, well done. Then who is interested in crypto Web3? We got 1 person, 2 people. Okay, so if you're going to get a job in the future, which industry are you looking towards to get a job? Is that in like AI, Web3, just normal Web2? Who's keen for Web2? Okay, tough crowd. So yeah, I'll just be talking about decentralized AI and showing some of the tools that's available. So a little bit about myself. So I'm a DevRel at OpenXAI. So that's a decentralized AI company. I also was founder of Solana Australia, which is a community all about the blockchain Solana. And yeah, basically, I come from a business background and tech background, master computer science AI. So I've always, my whole life, I've always kept studying. So keep doing the study, the university, but also keep learning all the new technology. So a little bit more about the mission of OpenXAI. So basically, right now in the AI industry, there is a massive monopoly of AI with the top 4 companies controlling 92% of the power and the talent. So all the people that work in the AI industry, they're all working for these big companies. So, and what that means is AI is essentially controlled by a monopoly. So all the biggest data centers, all the biggest social media platforms, the hardware laptops, the operating systems are all controlled by these big 4 companies. You probably know what they are, what their names are. And then OpenXAI is a big believer in actually fixing that centralization issue. So not 4 big companies controlling everything, but just like the internet and Bitcoin, it's decentralized. So it's built on the access to be free. The technology is open source, so all the code you can view, download, change locally on your own computer. There's no middleman, so there's no ability to censor the AI models that you're running and then the apps that you're building. And that way, it's a lot more open. Just like the internet or Bitcoin, everyone can access AI. So that's the mission of OpenXAI. Currently, there's quite a few problems in the AI space. So probably the biggest one is censorship. So you do have to agree with a lot of terms and conditions, what you chat into the chatbot, or maybe you're building an AI application. It is very restricted on what you can do. Basically, if you're building a big startup and you're using ChatGPT, at some point ChatGPT could just turn off that AI API access, and then your application stops working. Another problem with centralized AI is access. So approximately 2 billion people all around the world are unbanked. So who here has a BDO bank account or a BPI bank account? Does anyone have a bank account? Okay, so you guys are unbanked except for 2 people. So what does that mean? So that means when you go to sign up for ChatGPT, you might be able to create an account using your email. Maybe you have to provide your name as well, which is a form of KYC, know your customer. you're giving your data away to the big tech corporation. They know who you are, they're building a profile on you. Everything you chat into ChatGPT, they're tracking, they're storing it. So hopefully you're not saying bad things in the ChatGPT. Yeah, basically with KYC, when you go to use ChatGPT Premium, maybe it's like $20 a month, or $50 a month, or $200 a month. Who pays for that? Normally, you put your parents' credit card into ChatGPT, and then they pay for it. And you just say, hey, parents, please pay for this access to AI. There's a lot of people around the world, some in Philippines that don't have a bank account. They can't do that. They don't have anyone in their family with the bank account, so they can't enter their credit card details in. The other problem with this is actually providing your name. So you don't want your name attached to your usage of AI, especially when a big tech company builds a profile. Another problem is the future of AI. So the same big tech companies are investing like $50 billion a year on AI. So they're controlling a lot of the research and development. So that's another centralization issue. Another problem is some of the platforms, even though they say they're open source, like Hugging Face. Has anyone heard of Hugging Face? Okay, we've got a few people out back. So basically it's a directory of all the open source AI models. So you can chat to the AI models, you can build applications with open source AI models, and then you can download that from Hugging Face and then use it. The problem is you still have to KYC, you have to enter your name, your email, your phone number, and you're obviously giving your data away. Then there's also terms and conditions. So maybe you can't use a DeepSeek AI model, maybe in a certain country that's under sanctions from that model. So there's a lot of problems globally with legally using that model, especially if you're building an AI startup or a business using AI. And then finally, there's a middleman tax. So if you're building an AI startup, it might cost you $200 a month in cloud hosting. When you scale up and your startup is successful, and you might have 100,000 users or maybe 1 million users, that bill isn't $200 a month anymore. It grows all the way up to like 5,000. I've seen AWS bills for $25,000 a month for startups, US, which is a lot of money, a lot of pesos. So that's a big problem. Also, if you're integrating AI and you're integrating with ChatGPT, every time you call their API endpoint, there's an AI inference cost of $50 per 100,000 calls or something, and then it scales up as your app becomes more successful. So that's another problem. So it costs too much. So people that don't have the money can't pay for this expensive AI service in their startup. Just a quick question: who's into entrepreneurship, building apps, trying to make lots of money? Anyone interested in that? Okay, we've got a couple of people at the back, so that's good. So how does OpenXAI solve a lot of these issues? So what they do is they aggregate bare metal data center servers all around the world. So what is a bare metal server? It's a computer running in a cupboard. There's lots of server racks and there's nothing on them. There's no operating system, there's no programs installed, it's just bare metal. And what that means is you can rent that wholesale server from a data center for very, very low cost. And OpenXAI aggregates all of those data center bare metal servers so you can use them at the very cheap rate. I'll demo this in a second. And then the other thing that OpenXAI does is they fully open source the cloud stack. So the whole thing is running on a Linux fork called NixOS, and that's forked again, basically for Xnode OS, which is the operating system that runs on the bare metal computer. By getting rid of all the middleman proprietary private software, so you're not paying AWS or Azure for that cloud bill, you're just using Linux, you're using open source software, you can actually get the cost right down. So one example of this is in Melbourne, I set up a database for a client. It was a Postgres database. Who's heard of Postgres? Yeah, we've got a few more people that have heard of Postgres. Awesome. It's pretty exciting stuff. It's an open source database. So instead of paying for a specific product from AWS or Azure, which might cost $2,000 a month, you can just deploy the open source software yourself, and it's very, very cheap. It's free. So that's an example of how open sourcing all the stack, you can get really affordable pricing for building apps and deploying it on the cloud. In fact, it's about 92% savings when you're comparing bare metal server deployments to AWS and Azure or GCP. The other innovation that OpenXAI brings, and I'll be quick, but I just want to quickly go through what the solution is to the problem. They don't have KYC. You don't have to provide your name, your email, you just connect your Web3 wallet. So I've got another question. Who has a Web3 wallet? Who has a crypto wallet? We only got a couple of people, so I was at CMU, like, I don't know, yesterday or 2 days ago. We presented at this, at that university, and they also didn't have many people with Web3 wallets. So what I would recommend, who has a phone? Does anyone have a phone? Yeah, here we go. So you can install an app on your phone, like it could be MetaMask, it could be Phantom, very popular wallets. Try and install that wallet onto your phone. When you install that app, you then get a Web3 wallet, which is a crypto wallet. You can use that for holding assets like Bitcoin or Ethereum, but also you can use it as identity. So replacing KYC and providing your name, address, phone number, email, you can just connect with a Web3 wallet. So there's a whole industry that's building where you don't need to provide all your user data, you just connect with a unique identifier, which is like the wallet public key. So try and learn this stuff, install an app, and you can be a part of the whole Web3 community. Like Rube said, it is a very open community. It welcomes people of all ages, all countries. I'll just quickly do a deployment of the server just to show you how easy it is. I do want to run through a quick deployment, and then I also want to run through vibe coding. So I'll try and be as quick as possible. Okay, so this is just an example of deploying an AI model. So let me just go to the tab. Very simple. You just click through OpenXAI Studio. So you just go to openxai.org, and you can quickly deploy, let's say, for example, an open source AI model called DeepSeek. Who's heard of DeepSeek? You might have seen it in the news. It's a very special open source project. They only released at the start of the year, and they essentially disrupted some of the big $50 billion companies in Silicon Valley with like an open source AI model that people could use for very, very affordably, very cheap. So what we'll do, and I did quickly mention how searching through cloud providers on bare metal is very simple. It's just like Airbnb or Skyscanner or Grab or something like that. So you can like scan through, find a cheap server to rent anywhere in the world, and then you select the server, and then you hit deploy. The other one, let me just select the right thing. The other one here is you select this, and then you can decide how are you going to make money? So this is the other aspect of Web3. With traditional SaaS, you might have to charge customers like $20 a month, and then that will help pay your cloud fees for AWS, and then you're trying to get 10,000 users, and that hopefully would pay the cloud fees. With Web3, there's a whole heap of other business models that you can use. So when someone comes onto your application website, you can charge them a small fee like 5 cents. Whereas traditional SaaS business models, they might charge like $20 a month. And that's because they've got a minimum fee when you're checking out with Visa and MasterCard. So with Web3, you can actually get rid of that minimum fee. You also get rid of the middleman cost, that fee that they're charging, just by using open source Web3 tech. So what we do is just select decide later. We've got 10 servers, and we've basically pre-deployed them at the demo website. So you can actually see how it all works, play around, and deploy your own AI model, which is open source. In this example, we're using DeepSeek, and we're going to deploy our own chatbot website, just like ChatGPT, but this one is completely controlled by you. No one else has access. You're using a Web3 wallet to connect and deploy it, and no one else can come into this server and use it. No one else can even see the data and all the stuff you're chatting into the chatbot. So your data's private and secure, and it's also hosted on very cheap servers, so you can get rid of all the middlemen and do it yourself. OpenX AI Studio is trying to make it very easy for anyone to deploy AI websites and AI-enabled apps. So yeah, we just let this run. In the background, behind the animation, there is some terminal logs. Kind of boring, but what it's doing, it's installing the Linux operating system, NixOS, onto a bare metal server. Then it's deploying open source libraries for coding, for example, Next.js or JavaScript. It's also installing a front end. It's called OpenWebUI. It's a chatbot. And then also in the back end, am I talking like gibberish or? Yeah, so in the back end, it's using an AI model manager called Ollama, which then hosts DeepSeek. So you can host up to 259 AI models created by people all around the world through Ollama. And then also on Hugging Face, there's 2.2 million open source AI models that you can choose. And this is important when you're trying to build your own application, your own startup. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so yeah, as you can see here, we've just done a fresh deployment, and as you can see, it took like 1 or 2 minutes. This is DeepSeek R1. It's a model that's open source, and we can just say hello. I'll just put the mic down. What I'll do is, tell me about. I'm just proving that I'm talking to a live chatbot that's I just deployed. So, for example, this should work. DeepSeek R1 is trained. It's an open source model. It's trained on all the public internet data, just like all the other AI models. A big LLM. It's trained on, say, Wikipedia. So, as long as the data in for the AI model training is correct, then we should get a correct answer. I don't know if this is right, but yeah, it says it was officially founded in Philippines in this year, so that could be right. I always like to confirm from the source, but yeah, basically this is the end of this demo, and then we can get into some more activities. So let me just share screen again. So I just showed you the quick demo deployment of an open source application onto bare metal. So it's very easy to do with the studio. This is an example of DeepSeek, how it disrupted the industry when it came out. So a lot of the big tech companies lost like 5% market cap during the day that it was launched. A lot of investors in the market were like, what is going on? How can a small company that raised like $10 million disrupt a big company like ChatGPT? Now, when you're building and deploying apps, OpenXAI is building an app store, and we're trying to help builders. So people that sit at home and like to build cool applications, we're trying to help them launch their application in a marketplace, get lead users. There's also a drop down to select different business models. So we help integrate the Web3 smart contract. You just drop down and select the business model. You just have to build something cool. So there's two pathways to work in OpenXAI. So as was mentioned previously by Yoko, so basically there is a way to build out in the open, in a hackathon environment. Who's participated in a hackathon? Has anyone participated in a hackathon before? Okay, we've got a couple of people. So what that means is you've got a fixed amount of time to build something. Maybe it's like 2 weeks or 3 months, and then at the end of it, you get a prize. So you might get like $10,000 US. Maybe you get some other prizes. And by building something out in the open, you're actually building up your resume. So your portfolio of different projects you've worked on. So you build a cool website, people can see that you built that. They can see the open source code on GitHub. They can verify it was you that did it. This is really important nowadays, especially to just start building. Build out in the open, build up an experience. Because when you go to do that job interview, you can actually talk about the things you build. And that's really important. OpenXAI recruits this way, so they don't have 5 different job interviews. They just look at your social media profile. So as was mentioned before, build a Twitter account up, build your LinkedIn account up now, start building projects and then putting in on all of those social media profiles. Then when you go to build in the hackathon environment, we can see that you build that and then look at top talent and recruit. So there is a hackathon running right now. So there is an OpenXAI Global Hack Node. There is a pretty good prize, 587,000 pesos. So who wants to win that? Yeah, what would you spend it on? Oh, don't tell me. So yeah, you can check this out. There is a website here, and you just sign up. You go to the top right, click login, create an account, and then join the hackathon. You can actually start building. There's also a HackNode dashboard. All of this is vibe coded, by the way. And what it shows you, there's 10 days left of the Global Hackathon, and currently we've got 121 people from Philippines who have joined. We've had lots of people in Australia, India, and now Philippines. So really keen to support the Filipino community of builders if you're keen. You can also see all the different open source projects that have been built and learn from the GitHub code. It's all built in the open. There's also templates. So who's actually got a GitHub account? No one's got a GitHub account. Make sure you try and register. This is an example of the public portfolio, how to get a job. If you're in software development, you need to have a GitHub account publicly so people can see that. I'll just share this screen again. Some of the other prizes is a OpenXAI X-Node 1. So this is just a powerful CPU machine that you can run at home, but it also has a docking station where you can rack your old gaming GPU. So who's got a GPU card from a gaming computer? So you can actually start earning money off that, processing AI workloads, or you can just play like a game. But if you rack it into a docking station, you can contribute to the decentralized AI as well. There's also lots of different jobs. So it was mentioned in Web3, it doesn't really matter as long as you have skill and merit. You can get a job. So there's plenty of different AI roles, whether they're all fully remote, but they're also internships, part-time and full-time. I've also got a whole bunch of videos I'll just quickly share. If you do have a phone on you, make sure you follow me on YouTube, like, comment and subscribe. I have to say that. So yeah, basically all the workshops that I've previously run, I try and record and then put that on YouTube so you guys can check it out. So some of the terms I keep talking about, like bare metal, I have a video where I sort of explain that in detail. There's a lot of other university presentations I've recorded, so you can check that out on YouTube. Just go to John Forfar, so type John Forfar into YouTube and find me that way. So yeah, plenty of resources. The Global Hackathon finishes 16th of November. We've partnered with Base. So has anyone heard of Coinbase? It's a big exchange in America. They've built their own Ethereum L2, which is a way to make Ethereum fast and cheap. So you can build mini apps for Base. We also have a wait list, so you can actually, we're building a vibe coding platform as well that helps you build Base mini apps. So you just type in English or Tagalog or Bisaya and then try and build an application. So I'll just quickly go into a vibe coding demo. I'll probably have 5 minutes. But what I'll do, I'll just share this screen, if I can. Who's heard of vibe coding before? So we got a couple of people. So yeah, let's go here. So what is vibe coding? So vibe coding is when you use a program like, for example, Cursor. It's a bit small. I'll just try and zoom in a bit. But I've basically built a website. So on the right-hand side, I'm talking to an AI, and I've just said, build a basic website, and it goes off and creates all the files. So what I can do is basically say something like, make the background orange and yellow gradient. So it's going to be a smooth transition. And then what I'm trying to do is get Cursor, the application running on my laptop, to generate all the code automatically and update all the CSS styling, and it just does it. So you don't need to be a coder to build a basic prototype website. So let's go to a different demo. I'll share something else. I'm just quickly going to run through these demos. Again, all of this is on YouTube if you want to watch it in detail. So we go to the next one. So this is an app I vibe coded a few days ago at a different university. So this is called, let me just open that up. So this is another example. So this one is a Pokemon website. So it's similar to, basically, when you open a Pokemon pack, who's heard of Pokemon and trading cards? So basically, I wanted to build an app for my daughter that she would find interesting. So what we can do is open a pack, and it shows you what's in the pack, and then a mock-up market price for each card. So what I can do is, I want to add something cool, because that was a bit boring. So what I'll do, I'll just type in, when I open the pack, by clicking the button, show confetti animation. So like that, and just trying to make it nice and interesting. So as you can see, I'm just typing in natural language into an AI. I'm building an application. I can then submit this to a hackathon. So let's try and update the feature. Again, we're running out of time. And I think it should be up to date now. So I'll just quickly refresh this page and then click Open Pack. And there you go. So you can see the little animation. I've basically just talked natural language and animated the Pokemon Pack animation on the web page. So that's another example of vibe coding. You just listen to your own vibes or just talk in natural language, and then you can build a whole application, launch an AI startup idea, make lots of money in hackathons. Or get like investment and make like lots of money. So OpenX AI is here to help you guys build cool things. We have an office in Dubai, so the winners of the different global hackathons can go to Dubai. They can also work there for 1 month in a co-working space. And then there's also potential to talk to investors and pitch. We also have a New York office that's just opened, and we'll be doing things in New York as well. I'm going to just show the last demo, so let me just quickly flick over to this, and I wanted to show something that we started vibe coding in a previous workshop 2 weeks ago. So this one is all about government transparency in the Philippines. So this one is a vibe coding app that I built in a workshop. There is a video recording, so basically there's a whole heap of data on all the different Filipino government websites. You can actually download that for free in PDF, but it's very hard to understand all the finances. So what I've built is, for example, if you want to go to say CMU, it's a government university, you can actually click through, and what I've done, I've pulled down all using AI, I've pulled down all the PDFs, I've started analyzing all the financial data from the different universities, and now I can just use a simple dashboard that I built using Cursor to display how much money did they get given from the Philippines government, how much did they spend, how much was allocated, things like that. So the real benefit of this is government transparency of all the different departments and where all the money's going. The other one, and I just want to finish it off with the Department of Budget and Management. So this is a department in the Philippines. It's all about finances and managing the Filipino government finances. They've just released, and this was previously mentioned in a talk, that there is senators that want transparency in finances to stop corruption. So using vibe coding, using AI, we're able to pull down a whole heap of verified data that was launched in July. It's called the DBM blockchain portal. All the documents are verified as legitimate and signed off as a transaction on Polygon, the blockchain ledger. And you can actually look through all the finance data from the Philippines government, using Saro. And I'll be making this really easy, deploying it to a website, just as an example of using AI and vibe coding. I'll make this public when it's ready, but basically we'll be able to look at all the financial records of all the government departments and display it in a way that's easy to read. I'll try and make it shareable, so you can record a video, YouTube video, just walking through the different budgets of different departments. Maybe have a little screenshot so you can share it on Facebook. So just trying to make it really easy. It's quite horrible, the interface now. You have to download massive PDF spreadsheets, and it's just really painful. So using AI, we can make all of this data analysis really simple. So this is just an example of a more advanced, vibe-coded app that's not Pokemon pack openings, but it's using AI for government data. So that's everything I wanted to talk about. Make sure you sign up to the hackathon. I showed you how easy it is to vibe code an app and there's huge rewards for winning a hackathon. You have to have a good idea. So that's completely free. You can do that in your own time, and you don't need to pay money to have a good idea. And then hopefully you've got the tools to be able to win a hackathon and try and get some money out of that. So yeah, I wish you good luck with your careers, and yeah, happy vibe coding, and hope you use AI in a productive way. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir John. That was an exciting session about the power of AI and how it's changing the way we code and create.